Okay. I just need to...
Checker, please show them how to set up PuTTY.
Okay, no problem. I start from the beginning, but let me just first figure out how to share the screen here. Present your entire screen. Share. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm just going to turn off the YouTube video because it's turned on automatically. Is there a lag on YouTube? Okay. So...
Rakindu, is there any lag?
It's okay, it's if there's a lag, it's not that important. I was just gonna ask...
Okay, it's streaming. Okay, we are streaming live right now.
I don't know if I put this over here. Can you still see me? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
How do you see my screen? Can you see, like, here, stop sharing at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, yeah, welcome to the live streaming of trying to set up a playbook on a matrix instance with a playbook, with an Ansible playbook. I'm going to do it really slow and really understandable for everyone. And if you have questions, you can always just stop me and ask. Yeah. So, let's start from the very beginning. Okay, wait, before we start, sorry, this is important. Before we start, I'm going to send a link in the group, and you can use this link to access, because I don't know how many of you are you going to try doing it at the same time as I'm speaking.
I think except one or two others can try it.
So everyone is going to be trying it at the same time. I'm going to send you a link to a notepad so that you can copy my text quickly. So it's a live notepad. Here you go. And feel free to speak like occasionally, because I feel like I'm speaking to myself and it's kind of weird. So just say like stuff occasionally. Did all of you see the... Can all of you see the link? Are you all inside?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. I can see 5 people joined. I can see who's joining. So anyway, you have to go into this link that I just sent. Maybe I posted on the YouTube stream as well. It's so slow, the screen. Okay, I posted it on the YouTube stream, in the live stream, so you can just go to that link as well. Hopefully it works. Now, whenever I write anything here, you can just grab it, copy it. Don't cut it, just copy it so everyone else can also copy it. And if you missed something, if you weren't fast enough and I already deleted it, you can always scroll down or something. But if I really deleted it and you want to make sure and you want to check what you did, you can go to the history here, the time slider. If you press on the time slider, you can go back and see exactly what was written when, and then you can maybe copy something else. Also, if anyone is going to join later to help me, I'm hoping some people are going to join to help me, or just if any of you have questions or comments or good ideas, You can write in a tab directly yourself. It would have a different color for everyone, so you won't get confused who's who. And you can see here who's writing. You can write your name and then just add like, I can see some of you already wrote your name. Maybe I should enter my name as well. That's a good idea. So my name is Chagai. I entered my name, and you can see when I write, it's going to be purple color. And I'm just going to delete this now. And now, whenever I write something, you can just copy paste it. So that's for the setup. My screen is very simple, so you don't get confused. I'm sorry about this. This is just me here, my video. This here is the notepad over here. This here is Putty. I'll explain what that is in a second. And this here is Google Chrome. Everyone knows Google Chrome. This is Google Chrome, the browser. And this is the notepad. So I can write and you can copy exactly what I write without having to type it in. Okay. Now, so you just heard how to set up SSH, or what's it called? Set up a virtual machine. And I'm not going to do that too much. I already had another video where I show how to do that. It's a long video, but we managed to get it done at the end. And I'm just going to show you Godaddy. That's where I have my account. So you Google, let me do this even more simple. You Google Godaddy, and you just go to the first thing that comes up. And you have to create an account. I'm just going to sign in with my account. My account is the one. Oh no, you have to sign in with Google. I think it's this one. This is the account I made with Godaddy yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. And oh crap. Oh no, sorry, I got it wrong. I misread my notes. This is not the account. Let's just go back. This is the account. So you just set up an account like you do on every website. Unfortunately, you have to put in a credit card for this account. We tried Freenom and it was having problems, but I recommend Freenom. It works. It just has problems sometimes. This is Freenom here. This is, yeah, Freenom. You can just, I'm just going to sign into my account because I have a domain there, but I wasn't able to create a new domain. They're having problems. You see, if you go down here, this is Freenom. If you go down here to the bottom, you can click on My Domains, and you can just, you can press on Register a New Domain, and then you can find the domain. So you can just take something like matrixplaybook.cf, check the availability. You can see this is free. You can select it, and then check out on the green button, and then change it to 12 months because it's free for 12 months, so why not? And press on continue. Read and agree to the terms and conditions. Complete the order. And you see, some of your domains could not be registered because of a technical error. This usually doesn't happen. Usually, I don't know usually, but I managed to do it a few months ago, to be honest, no, maybe even a year ago. But as soon as they stop having problems, you can use this for free. Otherwise, you can always just buy a domain name. This cost me $1, $2, something like that. It's really cheap. It's annoying that you have to put in your credit cards and everything. Yeah, so search for a new domain. You just enter here. Let me just go for matrix playbook demo. And then you get a bunch of options. And you can see here, this is kind of expensive here, but if you go down a bit, this one is very cheap. So if you type .xyz, usually they're very cheap. And here you see this is even more expensive than .co, but still very cheap. Don't know why I have my VPN on. I just turn it off. Oh crap, now I need to sign in again because I turned my VPN off. So again, matrix playbook.xyz. Just search for the domain. Then you see this is free, XYZ, pretty cheap. Oh, look at that. There's one for free here. No, am I getting it right? This is 0.01 pound. Let's take this one. Oh no, is it 22 pounds? Did I read it wrong? Matrix. Yeah, this is just confusing. This is buy all these three as well and get it for 22 pounds. But this one is free. Like, it's not free, it's... Oh no, wait. This was a second ago, it was free. I'm confused. Anyway, let's just get it for £1. Adding to cart. Delete this. It's weird. Why is it saying $7 now? Maybe I need to put it down to 1 year? Yep. See, so they put me on 2 years automatically to get me, but you put it down to 1 year, and then it's only $1. Exactly, so I got that. No thanks. Start your website for free. No thanks, no thanks. Continue to cart. Need to fill this stuff in. I'm just going to fill it in like this. It's the auto forms, but you're going to have to fill it in properly. Assuming country region. Can't type in, so I'm going to have to go down. Switzerland, where's the S? There you go. And this is also Bern. It took the British number for some reason. Shouldn't have done that. Where's the Switzerland number? Anyone know the Switzerland code? Let me just do a US number. I can't find this right now.
+1, I guess. Swiss code.
Yeah, but I couldn't find. It has like a special number, and I couldn't find the number. So, like, not the number. That you see the AU or something. I don't know, CHF, I think it is, but it wasn't sorted, so it would take me hours to find this. Let me just put in my American number, and then continue. Okay. Now, payment. So I already registered my credit card, as you can see. And now they tried cheating me again, I think. Oh no, I think it's done already, no? Valid promo code, you got a great deal. No, you have to complete purchase here. So let me go ahead and delete this.
I think they have, yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, and just continue purchase. And that's it. Now I got a domain, matrixplaybook.xyz. Now we have to go to the account settings and my products, I think it was, right? DNS. Now we have to set up the right DNS. Did you set up the DNS already for your? Did I send you a screenshot of my DNS? I don't think I sent you.
No. I think they have not set up it.
I forgot to send you the DNS. It can't display your DNS because your name servers aren't managed by us.
I think you have shifted your name servers to the Digitalocean, right?
Yeah. But this is on my other domain. You see, matrixpb.xyz. This is something I set up before, just in case I fail setting up the DNS here, we can still carry on. But for some reason, I can't see all my domains here. Ah, there, see? Matrix Playbook, XYZ, use my domain. You're going to have to set up auto renewal. You're going to have to cancel that automatically, as otherwise it renews you. But this is only GoDaddy, so it's not important. Connect to an existing site. Shit, which one is it?
Can't you skip it?
I could skip it. I guess we can just skip that. Let's just go to the other domain then. Let's use the other domain.
No, I think they can just click on that three dots. Now go back and click the 3 dots.
Oh, you mean skip this page?
No. I mean, you can just go to the DNS.
Oh, there it is. I don't know what I did, but now it worked. Now it's working.
Yeah, there is on the bottom. There is manage DNS.
Right. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I only did this 2 days ago for the first time with this GoDaddy. It's a bit confusing, their website. Usually it's Freenom, and even there I only did it once, so I'm not that good with DNS in general. So if you can just pop in and tell me what to do every time I'm confused, that would be great. Yeah, so I need to change the name servers because I want to do this on DigitalOcean. So I change the name servers, enter my own name servers, and then what I do is I just I'm just going to open another tab here and just copy from there. Actually, I'm just going to open DigitalOcean already. So the next step is DigitalOcean. That's a hosting platform, and they would have the virtual machine on their side. So Google DigitalOcean, go to DigitalOcean. Again, set up an account, create an account, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to connect with Google. because I already set up an account. Oh no, this is sign up. I need to sign in. Where's the sign in button? I think the website is not showing everything because it's not big.
You can sign up, but it will redirect you.
No, yeah, that's true as well. I could sign up and then it would just push me back, but I'd rather sign in, so I just had to, because it hides the sign in button when you make the screen smaller. Can you see that? It hides the sign in button. That's so stupid. Anyway, I clicked on sign in now and it should, it's loading. Don't know why it's taking so long. Yep. So anyway, yeah, what we're doing now is just setting up everything, so then we can run everything on the matrix. Did you explain to them what the matrix is or not yet?
Not yet. So
okay.
can I explain them how to set DNS?
How to what?
How to set up the DNS and everything.
Yeah, let me just log in and finish and show you the DNS, and then I'll send also a screenshot of my DNS. Or oh, that's great.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
An account with this Google sign-in was not found. Huh? But I did this 2 days ago and I have an account. Ah, yeah, of course, because they took the wrong account. Okay. This is so slow. Why is it so slow? Maybe a lot of people are registering. I'm gonna put the DNS records all inside here so it's a bit easier. You know what? Maybe we should skip the DNS and just go to the playbook with the putty, or do you want to do the DNS as well? Do you have time? What do you think? Do you have time, or would you rather do everything slowly or skip the DNS setup?
Guys.
I guess it would be better if you like go with the DNS process.
Sure. I mean, I have
I don't
time.
know.
It's just
Whatever.
if it's getting too long or anything, just let me know, and then we can make it. Okay, sign in with Google. It's lagging like crazy. I don't know why. Now I sign in with the right Google. Let's see if it works. This is so weird. Okay. Let me just try. Just try enter a password. See what happens. The live stream still working, or did that break up as well?
Oh wait, let me check.
I think it broke, but I hope it's back now. So
yeah, it's working now.
It's back. Okay, so sorry about that.
Okay.
I don't know why the internet connection just broke. So back to here, we were resetting the password. I got an email. Nope, I didn't get an email. Just check my phone. There's an account I have on my phone. Okay, I got an email now.
I think we can't see your screen, right?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to put that back on. Your entire screen. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay,
it's streaming now.
So when I go here, can you see the screen you saw before?
Yes.
Okay, so it streams the whole screen. How do I need to go to the Gmail here? DigitalOcean. Sent. Spam maybe? Super weird. I can't log into my DigitalOcean for some reason. Even though it's definitely the right account. Let's refresh and send another email. Request password reset. Ah, there you go. Now it should send me an email. Reset your password. A new password by clicking this link. I'm going to put in a new password here. Need to put it in one more time. Okay, now signed in, just a sec. There you go. Looks like I'm signed in. Now let's do that here. There you go. Let's just save that. Now, so you create an account with DigitalOcean, and DigitalOcean has a system which works with droplets, and droplets are basically the virtual machines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project. I already set up a project here, so if it fails, we can always use this project. But let me set up a new project. And I'm going to call the project Matrix Playbook. Yep. And skip the description. The purpose is, let's just write, just trying out DigitalOcean. Creating project. Now, move existing droplets, blah, blah, blah. Let's just skip this. Now we have here our droplet. So I think we can actually show this on a bigger screen. No, because it's a bit annoying to see. Maybe if I make the thingy smaller. But then you can't see, right? Let me make it bigger. Let me do this. I just take it out and I put it here. Make it bigger. Now you can see a bit better. Now I'm gonna getting started with a new droplet. I'm gonna start with a new droplet now after creating another project. And now it gives me the option to choose between different distributions, between different Linux distributions for my droplet. So I'm going to choose CentOS because the playbook runs very well with CentOS. I think I saw you doing Ubuntu before, am I right? Can you still hear me, guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you can use Ubuntu, right?
I'd rather use CentOS. So, I mean, I don't know Ubuntu that well, and it worked for me on
Okay.
CentOS. So it's better if I do it on CentOS, and maybe you can translate the few commands that you have. It's not many commands; it's just a few commands, you know. But it's basically it's all Linux at the end of the day. But I'd still rather do it on CentOS because it's easier for me, and then I don't get confused. So I'm just gonna choose here CentOS 7.6 because it doesn't work on 8, the playbook. If you see, if I go back to the playbook descriptions here, these are the playbook descriptions. It says here in the docs, the README, it says prerequisites. Let me just do this properly. So we want to build on top of Matrix. We want to build an instance on the Matrix, a home server on the Matrix, and for that, I'm just gonna Google Matrix, Matrix, or just type in matrix.org. That's better. Matrix.org at the top, and then it brings us to the Matrix website, and then we can go to develop and go down and choose to install Synapse. That's what we want. We want to install Synapse. Synapse is the server that is used for Matrix. You don't have to have Synapse, but it's a good one and it's open source and you can just use it. So we're going to install Synapse. Now, how are we going to install Synapse? It says here, Synapse is the most widely installed Matrix home server implementation written in Python 3, blah, blah, blah. Many guides have been made, blah, blah, blah. If you carry on reading, it says here, Matrix Docker Ansible deployer. And this is a playbook which is written in Ansible. It's for deployment. And Ansible is a tool that you can use for deployment, and we're just going to use this tool to make it much easier for us. Slavi created it, so thank you, Slavi. And all you have to do is you can find the playbook at, and then you just press on the playbook. So I just went to matrix.org and I skipped other instructions, and I just said, okay, I do it with this. Then here it has explanations about everything, but we want to skip that and do it a bit faster. And it's not recommended to skip it. You should read it. We can just press on the documentation, and then we can see here, README on GitHub is always what you have to read. Very simple. And here you have a table of contents. So that's how I reached to the place I was before. So now I'm going to close the matrix.org website, and now we're just going to work from here. I'm always going to go back to this. Let me post this here so you can have this already. You can go there and you can jump back and read something again if you missed something. But this is where I'm going to start. So the prerequisites is what you have to have before installing it. And the first thing you read is an 86 server running CentOS, a Debian, an Ubuntu, Arch Linux. All these things work, but not 8. 8 is not supported. That's why I chose 7, CentOS 7. Now, on the DigitalOcean, back to the DigitalOcean, sorry, let me just explain. When I press Control window left, Control window right, I'm just going to switch between the desktops, so don't get too confused. I'm back on the DigitalOcean, and here it gives me a $40 plan, which is pretty expensive, and that's what they show you. But if you press on the arrow over here, then it brings you to the $5 plan. So I'm just going to take the $5 plan a month. The $5 plan a month is, you get, when you register, you get $100 credit straight away. I heard from you a few days ago that it's $300 on, what was it, Google Cloud? No? Google Fire Cloud? I don't remember. But But yeah, on DigitalOcean you get 5, and I already did it here. So you just press on the $5 and then you set up, choose a data center region. So let's just choose Bangalore because that's close to you. And then we have all sorts of stuff here, which are kind of important, but not that important. The authentication is important. We're just going to do it with one password. It's more secure to do it with an SSH key, but let's just do it with a one-time password, or even better, let's just type in the password here. So I'm going to show you the password, or should I not show the password? I don't know. I'll show the password and I'll close it afterwards. No, I'd rather not show the password. It's more easier. I just type in a password here. Okay, that was a very bad password. That's a better one. Cannot end in a number. Oops. Let's try another one. Let me just type in my password here somewhere before I forget it. Type it in again just to make sure. Okay. Now we got the password for the SSH, for the root. And then down here you have enable backups for more money, but that's about it. You don't need to know much more. It's always good to know, but that's enough to get it working. Create droplet. Cancel that. And now I created a droplet. Oh, I should have gave it a nicer name. Sorry about that. I forgot to give it a nicer name, but it gave it a name anyway. And now we have a running droplet, which is basically a CentOS Linux machine. We can go in here. And now we have to set up the networking. So we go to networking, the left over here, and we choose the matrix playbook. Okay, I'm getting a bit confused here. Don't remember exactly how I did it. We have to set up the name servers. So let's try finding the name servers here. Manage DNS on DigitalOcean. It's probably here. That's where I was before. Huh. Anyone help? Activity settings. Name servers. Okay, it was definitely not that. Domains. Let's try from the playbook again, because it has to be in the playbook somewhere. Go here maybe? Here. Ah, there you go, add a domain. Okay, so again, matrix playbook, click on the droplet like this. Oh wait, no. Matrix playbook, you click on the 3 dots to the right, and then you add a domain, I think. Oh no, that's not that either. Brings us back here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
What
what's
are you
up?
trying to add?
The three what's up, Charles? Thanks for joining. The three names, what's it called again? The name servers, right?
So go to more to the right side of below, to the right side there.
But this is on my matrix play pb.xyz. I need it on the matrix playbook. So I think I need to enter a domain here, no? Matrix playbook dot, what was it again? XYZ.
So is that, yeah.
I think let's go back to the Godaddy and just make sure. Where's the Godaddy? There's the Godaddy. Yeah, this is it. So, and then enter this, I think, and then add domain. Am I right? Magic.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It happened. Okay,
Good.
great. And then I have here, oh, it does it for me automatically, the name servers. See, NSs are the name servers. And I need to take all three of them. Charles, you want to take over sometime? I think you're better than me with this stuff.
So you're gonna replace the DigitalOcean name servers with the GoDaddy name servers.
Exactly. Can everyone hear Charles?
Yes, man. Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
great. So keep on explaining, Charles, and I'll just do it while you're explaining. It's nice to hear someone else explaining because I have no idea what I'm doing.
So the GoDaddy name servers are going to be what points the web when you ask for like google.com. It's going to go to the name server and tell it where the matrix A names and C names, all those things we're going to be entering. It needs to know where to find them. So the domain is hosted on the GoDaddy platform. So we're going to tell DigitalOcean which name servers to respond to when requests are being made for specific resources in the matrix ecosystem that we're building.
Thanks, Charles.
So all the internal calls, they will be delegated to this list of name servers so that we can find all the things we need.
So I just copied all three of them here, right? And then I just press save.
Yeah.
And that's it. Oh shit, an unexpected error has occurred. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, I'm guessing GoDaddy
Check
is
the
having
spelling.
issues. Well, I copied it, so it can't be.
Oh.
Let me go back and try again. But we don't have to focus on this. I can go and just show you how the DNS looks like, and then we can just carry on from there. That's why I set it up before, so it doesn't have these issues, so we don't have these issues. But I wanted to try anyway. Where was that again? Change the name servers. Enter my own name servers, and again, I'm just going to copy. They're actually the same, so I'm just going to copy all three of them and just enter a 2 here and a 3 here. But it's the same as copying all three of them one by one. I'm going to save. Let's pray to God. Shit.
Is it giving you trouble because of the dots at the end?
I don't think that's the problem, but we can try it without the dots. I think it's actually correct with the dots, but we can always try. You know what? Let's just skip this. Let's just let me just go to the top here. You see?
Okay.
And go to domains, and we can pretend that it worked because sometimes it works. And then in my where are my domains now? I'm lost, Charles. Where are my domains? There you go, manage domains. There you go. So I'm just going to go to this playbook that I already created. And it's basically the same thing. All it has in it, I'm just going to show you how it looks like. Oh, come on. So slow. So is there anyone else here besides Charles and guys from Sri Lanka? I guess not.
So we have some Sinhalese speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes those domain servers, I mean, Godaddy, sometimes it breaks.
Sometimes it breaks.
Or, yeah.
Charles has a really good domain. I forgot the name. What did you say you use?
I use Cloudflare,
Cloudflare.
and they
Yeah,
also
that's nice.
provide DDoS protection as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I
Cloudflare is
think
always nice.
yeah, I see that it's working now. Cloudflare is good, especially because of the UI you said, Charles. No, the UI is doesn't
Yes,
change.
the UI is stable, and things that you use often you don't want moving around, especially if you're working on sensitive things. So I will always defer to something that is stable.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm already here, so I'm just gonna finish with this. You're gonna use a different DNS anyway, but that's a good idea, the Cloudflare. You can see on my other domain, which is matrix pb.xyz, which is the same thing. I made it with GoDaddy, the same way I showed you I made matrix playbook.xyz. It's actually better because then we don't have to type that much, but at least you saw how it works. You see here, I have these 3 name servers that I said before, exactly the same ones. They make the letters big and they get rid of the dot, so don't pay attention to that. You have to really copy paste this exactly from here. In my opinion, I think, but I could also share the other video and then we can see exactly what I did there if you really end up doing this. As soon as we have these 3 things going here and these 3 things going here, we're done. We don't need GoDaddy anymore. We don't need our domain name website, the website we made our domain name on. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this. And now all we have is this DigitalOcean playbook, which is not matrixplaybook.xyz because that didn't work. The name service didn't work for us there. So I'm just going to go to matrixpb.xyz, and you can see the name servers here are the same. They have the 3 name servers. It's going to be the same, I think, on everything, right, Charles? It's going to be the same with the NS1. Yeah.
Yeah, name server 1, name server 2. They're basically the same system, but they give a different machine name so that you can, if one doesn't respond fast enough, the other can respond.
I'm disconnected from the OBS. I'm disconnected. I don't know why it disconnected me. So now there's no live stream. I hope it's gonna reconnect soon. Can you see the live stream?
I am only on this Meet.
No problem. Someone else is gonna look.
Yeah, the connection.
Connection is
connection
back.
is good.
It logged me out of the live
Yeah.
stream for a second there. So this is these are all the domain names. These are all the domain name, the DNS records. These are all the DNS records that we have to set up. I'll explain them one by one, I think. Okay, so someone's got the YouTube
These are all
on.
the domain. These are all the
Can you
domain
just
name,
mute
DNS.
the mic? Who's got the let's see who it is.
Buddhika.
Akila. I think it's Akila, no?
Buddhika got the authority. Buddhika, can you mute Macha?
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take this and just put it in the other desktop, back to the main desktop, so now you can see my beautiful face again. And I am going to make this smaller and put it over here and show you the where I got these domain names from. So first, we start with the simple ones. The simple ones are going to be www. You just add that. Should I post it here? Or do you want to take over and tell them exactly how to do it on their virtual machine? Guys?
Yeah, you can paste it in the chat, I think.
Okay, so I'm gonna not in the chat. I'm on the remember on the on this notepad.
Yeah, you can
okay.
paste it on the pad.
Yeah, you can use the notepad. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a DNS record, an A DNS record. I'm just gonna copy that, put it here, and I'm just gonna I'm just gonna copy this, go up here, put it there. So this one is gonna go to, can't do some tabs here, so I'm just gonna go some spaces. Spaces or tabs? Who prefers what? So then you have, this is my droplets IP. So if I go to my droplet again, I'm just going to open this in a new page. If I go to my droplet again, you can see that this droplet has an IP address. Yeah, is it that one? Nope. This is a different one. Sorry, I confused it again. We're not on Matrix Playbook anymore. We're on this one because the name servers didn't work. So if we go down here, you see that this is the IP address, the public IP address that you can use for this droplet. And this public IP v4 address is going to be used in all the DNS records, or in a lot of them. So that's the one you need to put here. It's not my one, it's your one. So your public IP. And in the case of the Digitalocean, you're going to go to the droplet and you're going to just copy it from here. Then there's, okay, let me show you on the playbook where it says this exactly. So let's just read the prerequisites again real quick. I'm going to skip most of them. So root access to your server, we gave root access, so we're not going to we don't need to write root every time, just for the setup now, but you shouldn't really use root in general. And then Python being installed on the server. So make sure that Python is installed. I think on CentOS Python is pre-installed. I definitely did not have to install it, so I'm pretty sure it's pre-installed. Just make sure that you install Python. apt-get is, I think, the command for Ubuntu, right? So you already have it there. Here, most distributions install Python by default. E.g. Ubuntu 18.04 doesn't and requires manual installation. apt-get. Yeah, exactly. So a cron-like tool installed on the server, such as cron or anacron, to automatically schedule the Let's Encrypt SSL certificates renewal. This can be ignored if you use your own SSL certificates. I don't actually remember if I installed this or not. We'll get to that later. Hopefully I did, because otherwise it won't work. Maybe it has something pre-installed. We'll get to that later. The Ansible program being installed on your own computer, it's used to run this playbook. So this is your own computer is basically the we are going to use the same we're going to use the droplet or the virtual machine. We're going to use it as well for everything. It's not ideal, but it's better to do it on your computer, but I didn't do that, and I don't know exactly how that works, so I don't want to mess around with that. I just want to do it the way I did it before, and it worked. Then we have a dig tool or Python DNS installed, used later for services check. I don't think I installed this, and I never tried the services check, so you should do that, but let's continue. An HTTPS capable web server. Oh, Google just heard me. So an HTTPS capable, Google heard me again. Web server at the base domain name.
I'm designed to wait in standby mode until I'm activated, like when you say, "Hey Google."
Sorry,
The status.
Google is misacting.
Yeah, you need to break up.
I need to break up with Google. I mean, I'm gonna stop saying this word so many times because I think it's listening to me every time I say it, and it's gonna pop up again somewhere. I have a few devices here, and I don't want them to all start speaking. I think I muted most of them, to be honest. Anyway, back to the HTTPS capable server. Yep.
Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so
I was out. So did you set up the DNS?
yes, I'm saying this. So now this is the DNS. See, an HTTPS capable server is the DNS. So this is one DNS that you need, www, but this is a standard one, just so if someone types www, they won't get lost in the web. You need a www, I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Charles. Anyone else? Correct me if I'm wrong. I definitely had to add that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I didn't, my www didn't direct there, so I was like, what? And then I just added that.
A lot of sites don't need it, but what happens is when people don't know and they just type in, because you're used to it, it's like www.hotmail.com.
Yeah.
You can type hotmail.com without the www.
Yeah.
So by doing this, we make sure if someone accidentally puts that in, you still have it there as a record. There's work to, I'm on the Internet ISOC, and we're trying to get that removed as a standard or the spec, because it's annoying. But people
annoying.
do still type that. This is just to make sure if they do type that we don't lose them because we didn't put it in there as a DNS record.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. This should be standard. But I guess, yeah, so you just have to go ahead and have that. And then as you can see, the HTTPS, where is it? Did I not add that? Ah, there it is. HTTPS, you see, it says an HTTPS capable web server. This is definitely necessary. So you have to, I'm going to go ahead and copy that here for you as well. https.matrixpb or your domain name. And then, of course, link to your public IP. So again, your public IP. Right over there. These spaces are going to kill me. Tabs is much nicer. Anyway, continuing. Then you have to properly configure your DNS records for your domain. Details in configuring DNS. So this is the main part. We're going to go here. We're going to go here and do that in a second. The last prerequisite is some TCP UDP ports are open. This playbook configures the server's internal firewall for you. In most cases, you don't need to do anything special. So in most cases, nothing is going to be needed. But maybe if you're running behind a firewall, which means if you're not using a public IP, or you set up a firewall, you're going to have problems. So just make sure that you're not doing that, or make sure that you opened all these ports. I think last time we tried opening the ports as well because we weren't sure if we're having problems or not. Remember, Charles? No? We used, what's it called? What did we use? We used UFW commands.
Yeah, UFW commands to open specific ports.
Exactly. So you can install
UFW space allow space the port and then TCP/TCP or UDP.
TCP. Am I doing this right, or can someone else do this? Just type this in. Can someone else just type this in the notepad so that we have that for people who are running for behind firewall, or if you're stuck and if you're trying it right now and you're behind the firewall, you should do this. Anyway, going to the when ready to proceed, continue with configuring DNS. So I'm just going to go to that, and here we have the DNS records. To set up Matrix, you need to do some DNS configurations. To use blah blah blah, to use an identifier like username dot under domain. Actually, this is important. I could explain this really short. So if you want to have a username, you want to be able, everyone's going to be able to find you through this username. So it's just like email. When you have email, then someone can write you at your domain, and you have to set that up so they find you. The same thing, just with a username this time on the matrix, because the matrix works with usernames on your domain name, and they have a specific way to read it. So you say at, and then you say your username, on, and then you say your domain. So if it's going to be mine, my username is, let me just show you. This is my username. See, at Chagai, on Chagai Friedlander.cf. That's my username on the matrix. Everyone can reach me there. There we go on. You do, however, need to instruct Matrix Network that Matrix services of your domain are delegated over to matrix.yourdomain, as we discuss in server delegation. There are two different ways to set up such delegations, either by HTTPS well-known from your base domain, or by using this matrix.tcp. And don't confuse this with matrix identity TCP. This is added new. I think I added this, or I said that it confused me and someone added it. But anyway, as you can see, there are two different ways, and this playbook mostly discusses the well-known file method. So we're just going to do the well-known one. It's easier, and the playbook does it for us. Blah 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 blah. Carry on. I'm not going to read everything, but you can read everything. You have to have a type A with a host matrix that goes to your droplet or virtual machine IP address. So this is going to be this here. Can you see? matrix.matrixpb.xyz. You have to be very careful when you type this, because in many of these websites, it automatically adds. Oh, let me just do it like this. I just copy everything together with the spaces. Oh, bam. And then what happens is, I'm just going to type it here just so you can see. If you type in matrix, then it already does this for you. So if you go ahead and type in matrix.pb or something, matrixpb.xyz, which is my domain. This is very confusing. I just want to say matrixpb.xyz is my domain name. It's a very bad domain name for this example, but I already did it. So imagine another better name here. For example, matrix.mozilla.org. And then if you'd be typing matrix.mozilla.org here, then you're going to get a DNS record which has matrix.mozilla.org mozilla.org, because this is my domain name, but you understand what I mean. You're going to get it duplicated. So if you type in my domain name, matrix.mydomain, you're going to get a duplicate domain. This is a very common mistake. I think I did it once or twice. You shouldn't do that. You should double check what it's doing, and if it's doing this, then that's good. And even worse is the fact that they shorten it, so they have 3 dots here, and you can't even see the whole domain name, so you don't even know that it's there. So of course what you should do is just make this much larger and make font a bit smaller, and then maybe you can see a bit more. See, and now you can see the whole domain name, and you can see that it's correct and it's not got a double dot. Yeah, okay. So back to the domain names. What you need is the matrix dot your domain name to your public IP. Then you need a riot. Then you need dimension. You don't need, but it's always good to just add it. I already added it. And then you need a Jitsi. If you want to have video conferencing, it's not a must, but I think a Jitsi is very nice. I don't know how do you say this? Dimension? It's my
Yeah.
dimension, right? I think it's dimension. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so these are C names. Yeah, don't confuse them. You have to add them as C names. And another thing that confused me at least was this TTL, but Charles explained it to me very well. And it's not that confusing. It's just annoying that you have to put in a number and you don't know what, so you're just like, okay, what do I put in now? I just put in for the C names 60 and for the A's 100. And now what we had is these three, and these three are A's, and now these are going to be C names, all the rest, which is a Jitsi. There you go. And a Riot. Sorry, Riot is more important than Jitsi, so let's put that first. Riot is more important than Jitsi. And then you're going to have a Jitsi. And I'm going to skip the dimension part because it's just going to confuse. And then you need an SRV. So remember, if you're on DigitalOcean, remember to just change between these. So if you want a C name, press on C name. If you want an A, press an A. If you want a SRV, press SRV. An SRV is the most complicated one. Actually, on DigitalOcean, just so you know, if you press on C name and you type something there, it's not, oh, it is, okay, interesting. Here it isn't. If you type here, another domain, it's not going to fill in the domain name straight away that you need. So the C names that you need here are not with an IP. The C names are to your domain. So riot.matrixpb.xyz is going to have to go to, so this is wrong what I did here. They go to matrix.yourdomain. And so this one goes to this one, and this one goes to this one as well. They all go to matrix.yourdomain. And when you type here matrix, then it doesn't fill it out for you. You really have to type in the whole thing. So just make sure if it's filling in stuff for you, because if you just put in the whole thing here, then you get a duplicate. But if you fit it in here, then you don't get a duplicate. So with the C name, you got to be careful. Otherwise, let's go back to the SRV. Let's go to the SRV. The SRV is a bit more fields to enter. You have here a port 443, a weight 0. So you just put that in here, weight 0, port 443, and priority 10. And then this weird variable, you just stick that in here as well, just like that. Then you choose a TTL. A TTL is I did a 30 for this, for the SRVs. What was the shortcut for TTL? Time something? Time limit? Lap?
It's time to live.
Time to live. Oh, oops. Time to live.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's how fast the server can react, if I understood.
Yeah. So like it's a record update. So if you say 60, so every 60 seconds, then I'm going to check the current location of that resource on the internet, and it's going to try and ping it to verify, and then it'll update itself. So for example, if you have a dynamic DHCP address and you're using DDNS, dynamic DNS updates, if your server changes addresses, or you have 6,000 servers for like Google, for example, you may have maybe 10 milliseconds and then it's going to update every 10 seconds. It's checking what's the next available server. In this situation, it's not something we expect to change very often. So having a big number is more useful.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for the explanation. So anyway, we got, yeah, these, let me just add this. These are going to be CNAMEs. I just got a bloop somewhere. Did someone send a message on the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, these are going to be CNAMEs. And these are going to be A records. Make this a bit bigger. And now you got your A records and your C records, CNAME records. These are the records you need, and of course the DN SRV, I forgot that. And the SRV record, which is here. So maybe you can like tell me, is anyone still trying, or did you give up? Like doing it like straight away at the same time. Did you put in the DNS records? The people who are trying to do it at the same time? Maybe just put up a thumb in the Meet, in the Google Meet or something. Is anyone putting up a thumb? I'm not looking at that right now. So I'm assuming no one's with us live, so I don't have to wait for anyone to get this done. Yeah, it would be cool for you if you do it live, because then if you run into problems, we can troubleshoot them straight away with help from anyone who's on now. These are the SRV. These are the DNS records you need. No more. Now, I don't know, should we jump right to it now? Or should we go ahead and set up the email DNSs as long as we're here? I think if no one is doing it as we're speaking, if no one like says, hey, I'm still doing it, let's do the email as well, then I'm just going to skip the email, and you can look on the other, you can watch the other video to see the email. So I'll give you 10 seconds. If anyone shouts out, hey, I want to see the email as well. Otherwise, we could only register to the matrix through a number. You cannot add an email. So for example, this is my matrix instance, and if you go here to my matrix instance on a public incognito mode where I'm not logged in, you would have sign in or create account. So if you create an account, you're going to have here a username and a password, and it's going to say email optional. But this email optional is going to be not true because you don't have an email to add it to. So you can only add a username and a password, and you cannot reset the password. It's just going to be your password forever. Okay, so I gave enough time. No one's interested yet. So maybe if you want, I can do it later. So let's get back to this subdomain setup. Let's just go over this real quick. DNS record marked with are optional. As the table above illustrates, you need two subdomains, matrix dot and riot dot, your subdomain. Point them to your new server's IP address, DNSA record, or CNAME. You can use both of them as well, but we just did it like that, so just remember this way, and that's easier. The riot is necessary because this playbook installs the riot web. So a riot web is a web client, which means that every time you go to a website, it's sitting on someone else's Linux, usually Linux machine. It's sitting there on someone's virtual machine, or sometimes also on the actual machine, but it's sitting on some server. And what this playbook, what Matrix is not only well, it is only a protocol that allows you to create your own server and communicate with people using your own server. So if I actually go to riot.im, which is the open source clients that the Matrix project, the matrix.org project provides for everyone for free as open source clients, then you can see I have a browser, a desktop, an iPhone, an Android, and it's on F-Droid as well, which is the same. If I go to the browser now, it's going to be logged into mine, so I'm just going to have to log out real quick. And it brings you to it brings you to, you'll lose all your encrypted messages. Okay, I don't care. Yeah, it lags a bit. This is actually good to prove my point. This lags a bit, which means that we are now using the web instance of riot.im. So the code, which is showing this sign in and everything on the browser, is all code which is sitting on a virtual machine on an account that belongs to matrix.org. What they did is they actually allowed it as a default in Riot, but you can disable it. They allowed you to choose your own domain. So if I put here matrix.chagai-friedlander.cf, this is going to confuse some people, but I can use my own home server on their clients. Why is this important? This is important because you don't have to deploy your own Android app, your own iPhone app. It would be cool to deploy it because it's so easy. It's already open source. You just have to download, change a few names, and you can upload it again, and that's yours. But you don't need to. You can also use their clients and just log in with your domain name, with your home server, with your instance of the matrix. If I log in here, I don't know if I have the right password in my head right now. Let's see. Yep. So it logged me in. It's logging me in on the matrix client to the to my home, in my home server. Skip is the secret, the what's it called, the verifying the sessions and making sure that you're encrypted everywhere. It's a new feature they added. Oh, I just got a message from Charles. Hello. So Charles just sent hello. As you can see, this is my instance of the matrix. You can see this is me. This is all sitting. All my messages are sitting on my server. The matrix.org server doesn't have access to my messages, but I'm using their client just on my computer now. It's taking like all the UI and the GUI and making it look nice and showing the names here properly with their code. Way more secure than WhatsApp. Yeah, it's not like WhatsApp where you don't have your own server. So I'm just gonna leave this now for you. You understood that, I hope. If anyone has questions, feel free to ask all the time, also in Sanghali and whatever, and we can translate, and also in any other language, and yeah, or type the question, whatever you want. But what we're doing is we want to have our own Riot web. So that's why we have our own riot.our domain. And then when you go to riot.chagai-friedlander.cf, it brings you to my own domain and my own code of Riot Web, and I can change this code, and I can show not hello riot.im, but hello to the home server of Hagai Friedlander .im. The basic thing that you'd see, I think the playbook changes this automatically, is if you go to this, and you can see that the default home server is going to be my home server, the default one on Riot IM. If I go to Riot IM app, which is the web app, you can see the default for them there is, oh crap, I put in a room accidentally. If I just do app, then you can see the default for them sign in is matrix.org. So that's one thing you can change, but you can change the logo, you can do whatever you want. I didn't do much, but yeah. Back to here. The Riot submit is necessary because this playbook installs the Riot web client for you. If you'd rather instruct the playbook to not install Riot, then you can just put in this as a variable in the vars, which is variables, short for variables, file. I can show you where that file is when we get there. When configuring the playbook later, feel free to skip the riot.yourdomain DNS record. You don't need it, but it's the default, so that's why they have it here without the star, because these are not the default, the Jitsi and the dimension. For anyone who doesn't know, I think dimension is like kind of like a service that allows you to add extra services to the matrix, and the Jitsi is just like Meet Google, which we're on right now, or in general, it's just like every other conference calling with video and with sharing screen, and but it's open source, and you can just set it up like this, and it's yours. It's running on your servers, and the code is, you can change it. The Jitsi.yourdomain subdomain may be necessary because this playbook could install Jitsi video conferencing platform for you. Blah 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 blah. It is disabled by default because it may be heavy and it is not a core requirement. To learn how to install it, you go to the Jitsi guide. Then you have the matrix SRV record, which we already set up. We put this. When you're done with the configurations, I'm assuming no one is doing this, so I'm done with the configurations. I'm going to configuring this Ansible playbook. Now we get to the actual part where we're actually doing it, and this is so easy and so short. I mean, Slavi made it so good for us, so thanks again, Slavi. Configuring the Ansible playbook. To configure the playbook, you need to have done the following things. Have a server where matrix services will run. So we have a server already. Yeah, that's our droplet. And configured your DNS records. We did that already. We have all the records right here. This is red because it's expecting us to put something in, but we're not going to do that, so that's not a problem. Retrieve the playbook source code to your computer. So now I'm going to log into Putty. Putty is a client which you can use to SSH into things. So if you just Google Putty download, then you can get, this is Putty, and you can just download the latest release for 64-bit is what most people have. You have 32-bit, you can get that as well. You just download it, you run it, install it just like every other software on your computer, at least for Windows that was. You can also do it on, I think there's other clients for other OSs, operating systems. Anyway, I'm on Windows, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to pop up my Putty. See, this is the Putty. And I'm just going to pop it up right here. This is how Putty looks like. And we are going to use our domain name, our public domain name. Where should I put this? I put this here. I hope you see it. It's a bit small. I'm sorry about that. Didn't really think about that, but it's really short, the instructions in the PuTTY, and then it will be bigger. So all you have to do here is have port 22 and take the public IP address that you're using. So in our case, it's the public IP address for the droplet, which I'm going to get from here again. It's the same one we used here in all the IP addresses.
We got a quick note. I'm heading out. We've got most of the easy stuff done, so all the best with the easy script posting.
Thanks so much, Charles. Thanks for
Yeah,
stopping
all right.
by. Thanks for
you guys
helping.
take care.
Couldn't have done it without you. Bye.
Oh.
Okay, so you're gonna put that in here just to SSH inside, yeah, and then you're gonna add here. That's just to make it easier. You're gonna add. Never mind. I'm just gonna put it like this. So you just put in the host name or IP address, and I'm just gonna press on open. That's it. All you have to do is go to the sessions here on the top, sessions if you're not there already when you go in, and then just put in the IP address from the droplet or from the virtual machine, from the server where you're running the whole thing, and just press on open. It's going to ask you to log in. Now we are root, so now what I'm going to do now is, now we finished with the DNS and we're ready to go and only use the SSH. So what we did is we SSH'd into the droplet, and now everything I used on PuTTY now, as soon as I put in my my username and my password, which is root, because I'm doing everything on root to make it easier. As soon as I do that, I'm just going to be using the droplet from here. So I don't need to, I'm using the server basically, so I don't need to do anything else. What you can also do is from DigitalOcean and from any other providers, you can just press on the console and it does the same thing. If you go here and you just press on console, access console, it does the same thing. It's going to look like this. See, it just basically logs you in already, I think, or it asks you for a password here. Yeah, matrix login, matrix PB login, because that's the name of the droplet. I'm just going to X that. I prefer using PuTTY. It's much easier to use and nicer. So I'm exiting this and exiting this. We're done with the DNS records. Now, just setting up this. Let's just do that like that. Let me just put this here nicely. Put this here nicely. That's better. Remote side unexpected closed network connection. Crap. I just set that up nice, and now we have to do it again. So again, opening PuTTY, sometimes it closes, that happens, it's normal. I think I didn't sign in fast enough. And I can see that it's too small. So I'm just gonna close it real quick and join again. But this time I'm gonna change the appearance. You guys taught me that, so thanks. Okay, and back here, and open. There you go, it's big again. This time I'm gonna log in a bit faster. So root, and then it asks you for your password. I'm just gonna copy my password from the other machine and paste it. When you paste in PuTTY, you can always just right-click the mouse and it pastes. And then I'm going to press enter. And it's going to say, last login failed. There were 4,042 failed logins. That's because I don't have an SSH key. And I only have a login, a password. I should have an SSH key. That's why there's so many attacks, I'm assuming. But they didn't guess my password. They didn't brute force my password. I think I understand that correctly. Okay, let's carry on. Now we are in the CentOS, the virtual machine, in the server, and now we have to just run a few commands to set it all up. I don't know the commands in Ubuntu, so I'm just gonna go down here, and if any one of you wants to just translate these commands into any other Linux distribution commands, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to just go through the regular CentOS commands. So here we go. This is actually where we start. So this is where we start. Before, it was all set up for getting your server. Anyone who has a server can start at this point. Just set their DNS. So first we're going to do yum install Ansible. Just going to type that here and enter. And now it's installing Ansible. That's it. Oh crap. No package Ansible available. Ansible version. Let's see if that worked. This is not good. This is super weird. Let me just Google the problem. Install Ansible CentOS. Don't know why this is not working. This has worked before. Maybe I have to ensure that the EPEL release is installed. Let's see if that works. Okay, seems to be doing something.
Hello?
Yes. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I think, yeah.
You think?
Guys, are you okay? Have you set up to now? I think there's a little problem in DNS, because you showed us how to change DNS in what it is, Digitalocean.
Yeah.
But I think our guys have GCP, so from now on, I think it will be good if Ovindu, are you in there?
You want to take over for a few minutes and explain how to do it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just for a few minutes.
I think that's a good idea. I need a small.
Okay.
I need a
Is it
small
okay?
break as well. Yeah, I need a small break as well. I'm just gonna go downstairs and get something to eat or something. You
Nice.
let me know on the phone. Like, just text me on the matrix. I have the client on the phone, and I'm just gonna leave.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave this open.
Nice.
Or maybe wait,
live stream?
maybe I should change the live stream to your screen or something.
No, can you pause it?
Can I
think
pause
it's
it?
better. Yeah.
I don't know if that works. Let me just try pausing it.
Lamine, is it possible to pause?
I don't know if it's just going to be a long
you
video.
can just stop the live stream. Yeah, it won't close the stream, so it'll just pause.
It would just have like an empty thingy for a while.
Yeah, it's okay.
Where is my? I lost my OBS. Where is it? I can't find it. Anyone? Where's my OBS? Is it even live streaming?
Right there.
There it is. I was there the whole time. I'm gonna stop streaming. I think it works now. Okay. Does it work? Can you check? Someone check the stream?
Wait, okay, I'll check it.
Later.
Okay, you're good to go. Live.
Okay. So, where were we? We just did this command here for CentOS, because apparently when you install Ansible on CentOS, you have to check if you have to have Apple release. So I'm going to put this here as well. By the way, when you copy something, when you mark something in PuTTY, just if you like take it, then it copies it automatically. And then if you right click, I said already, then it pastes it. After I did yum install Apple release, I was going to do yum install Ansible. Let's see if it works this time. Yum install Ansible. Then it's asking me if I want to install it, and I say yes with a Y. It's asking me again if I want to install it or something about the package release. Is this okay? Yes. And now it's installing it, hopefully. I think it's also installing Python. No, I think it's Python libraries. Okay, now we have, you can always, when you want to check if something's there, in general, on Linux, probably all the same, just do Ansible V, and then it tells you the error usually. It tells you the version, or you do 2 and then you write version. It's either that or that. And seems like the Ansible 2 dashes version worked. So sometimes it's only 1 and then V, and then 1 minus and then V. 1. Anyway, the Ansible version is this, so it's fine. It means that we have Ansible installed. Now we can continue. The next command we need is, this is here I opened how to install and configure Ansible on CentOS 7, because we're the distribution CentOS 7. You can always Google how to do that on Ubuntu. If someone can add here the commands for Ubuntu or whatever other distribution you might use, that would be great for you. Then the next thing we do is we clone the GitHub that we have seen. So this GitHub over here, you can take the link from here. If you open the GitHub here on the main page of it, then you can take the link from here, or you can just take the link from here. Posted it in the thingy, and I'm just going to clone that with git clone. Yeah, just delete this. So git clone and then that. Oh crap, git command not found, so I guess we need to install git as well. Why is my computer slow now? I think it's too much load. Let's see what's wrong. CPU, what's going on? Anyone tell me what's going on here? Why is it slow? OBS? Network error, that was the problem. Apparently There was some kind of network error. Can you still hear me? There was a network error.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so that was weird. Somehow there was a network error and the putty is inactive now, so we have to close the putty and open the putty again and type in the VPN. So Windows V brings you to this nice clipboard, then you can go down and take the things that you copied last. So I remember we copied the IP address. So this is the IP address we copied, and we can just go into there. And isn't this lovely? It's small again, I think. It's not working for some reason, the putty. So we're gonna have to close it again, open it again, and this time also, just before we go there, just change the font again to 24, and then back to the session, and put in the IP address and open it again. There we go. Now root, and now I forgot the password, so I'm just going to go check the password again. And I'm going to copy the password, paste the password, enter, and hopefully we are logged in. Yep, we are logged in, as you can see. Last failed login, last login. This confuses because it says last failed login, but it just tells you when it was last logged in. It's not that it's failing to log in. Last login, and then it's just logged in. If it doesn't, it says access denied or something. Where were we? We were going to install Git. So yum install Git, I'm guessing. See if this works. Y is for yes. Looks like it worked. So I'm just going to add here before we go there. We have yum install Git. And then we have git clone and then the repository. So put that in there again. Again, right click to paste stuff. And now we cloned it. After we clone it, we have to go into the repository that we cloned. Yep. I've got some stuff here which is confusing me because I did some stuff here. Let me just I did some stuff here for a local thing, so I don't know exactly what we need and what we don't need. First we need to, I'm going to post a command here in a second. We need to take, okay, we can close this because we only use this to get to this cloning thingy, cloning link, or GitHub link. It says here, create a directory to hold your configuration. So we need to take this, copy it, put it here, and now we need our domain name. So I'm just going to take something that I copied before. I hope it's still here. Oh crap, it's not there anymore. So we're going to have to type it in. Matrix pb dot xyz. Then we're going to take this command here, and this is an mkdir, so it just creates a repository. That's all it does. And oh, sorry, before we do that, we're going to go into the repository, of course. So we go into the repository. I don't remember the whole name of the repository, but we can check that with ls. Just shows us the name of all the repositories that we have here. And you see matrix docker ansible deploy is the name of the repository. Again, I don't need to copy, I just need to go on it and it copies it automatically. So I see in my hand, my other hand is on the mouse. All I have to do is just take this and then it copies it here. No Control C. And then I'm just gonna paste this here as well. On Windows I have to do Control V. And then I'm going to cd into that. Now we're in that repository, and we're going to do this command in this repository, which creates another repository with the name of our domain, with matrix dot, then our domain name. That created that. Then we're going to copy from the examples repository, not repository, directory. I'm confusing directory and repository. So we're copying, what I meant now is we're creating a directory, not a repository. A directory is like a file, like a, sorry, not like a file, like a folder in Windows, it's a directory in Linux. And now we're going to copy a file which is in a different directory. See here, it's in this directory, the CP is copy, and it's copying from a directory called examples and from a file called hosts.yaml into a directory called its inventory host vars matrix dot. This is the directory we created, remember? The this directory that we just created now. It's going to copy into it, into a file called also vars.yaml. It's going to copy host vars.yaml into vars.yaml. Just going to take this, copy it, paste it here, and that just copied that. So now in this, in the directory we just created here with inventory host vars, we have a direct inventory host vars matrix.matrix pb.xyz, which is our domain name. We have the host, the vars.yaml file. The vars.yaml file is the most important file that we need to know about in this Ansible, because what it does is you can change variables in that file, and we just took the basic example. So now we have a few variables in there that we have to change. We're going to change them now. You see, we're going to have to edit the configuration file like it says here to your liking. You may also take a look at the various role play, and then if you look at the roles, then you can see all sorts of different variables, and then you can take those variables and you can add them to the vars.yaml file and see if there's something you'd like to copy and override in the configuration file. Copy the sample inventory. Okay, so the next step is we're copying the hosts. Let's go here. Okay, I did it a bit differently, so I'm gonna, before this step, we're gonna go into this vars file. I'm gonna v into it. So using v, you could also use vim. That's a bit better, but I'm just gonna use v because I can't be bothered to install vim on this. It's not that difficult, but not necessary. And I'm gonna take all this path, see, till here. So let me just write this down for you here, v, and then this. So if I take this and I just post it in there, this is actually not CentOS anymore. Then you go into the vars file. And this vars file has a few things that we need to change. You're supposed to read everything, but we don't need to read everything now because I already read this. So the first thing we have to change is the domain and email address. So the domain matrix uses, okay, this is all these are comments. This is the first line where you actually have to have something. So the easiest way to edit something on V is you type I, and then it's insert. Maybe it's not the easiest way, it's one easy way. And then you type in your domain name here. So matrix pb.xyz. Don't forget to press I for insert. Then we're going to enter. Then we're going to esc, so escape, top left on the keyboard. Now we're not in the insert mode. Now we're going to dd, so d and then d twice together. That deletes the whole line. And now we have the matrix domain set variable set to matrix pb.xyz, which is our domain name. Carrying on down here, these are all comments explaining what we have to do. And here it has a matrix SSL Let's Encrypt support email. So this is basically a support email that you have to give in. So you can write whatever you want here. I'm just going to put in my email address. Why not? Chagai95 at, if someone ever writes an email to that, if someone ever tries the demo out, then they can send an email to me here, or I get an email about notifications of some problems from, yeah. The SSL Let's Encrypt is just a certificate. You know, when you open things in Chrome which don't have a real certificate, you might get a problem. So that's why they create a certificate for you automatically. They might not be verified, and then you have to press on advanced and go forward even though there's no certificate. So again, I'm going to escape, so I'm not in insert mode, and I'm going to dd, so twice d, and then it's going to delete the line. I just remembered that I wanted to check the DNS. That's also an important thing you have to do. You go to dnschecker.org and you put in here the name of your, I already did this, so search. You see, it's available in all these places, so this is good. You can also, just to make sure that you put you made the DNS records right, you can search for matrix.matrix, and then you can search for all your DNS records. So you can put riot on a CNAME, and then you can put Jitsi on a CNAME. Oh, that's not good. Somewhere in Turkey, it's not available. So, and then you can put, yeah, all the DNS names you see, you put them with SRV and CNAME and A, and maybe even name server if you don't trust the website you were using. Godaddy is pretty much okay, and DigitalOcean is pretty much good. If you're using something skeptic, then you might as well try that before you're sure that it's a problem on your side. Maybe it's a problem on their side. Carrying on here, you can put any string here, but generating a strong one is preferred. So this is a coturn. This is for when you phone, I think. When you phone, if I'm not mistaken, then I'm actually not sure about this. Let me not say bullshit before I go ahead explaining bullshit. Let me just ignore this. So I don't know exactly what it is, but you definitely have to generate a key. So I'm just going to go to generate password, and just strong random password generator, and then I'm just going to generate a password. And you know what, I'm just going to take this one and stick it right in here. I'll change it later, but for now, just so you see that it works, I'm just going to, oh, you see what I just did now? I pasted before I pressed insert. That's not good. You should press insert. Oh, someone's watching us and saying, please use AAA records. No modern servers should use IPv4 exclusively. Sorry, will add later. So someone is very angry that we're using only the IPv4. I was a bit lazy there. We should add the IPv6. Anyway, I have to go back. Going back is U. If you press U, it goes back to where you were. Again, you have to remember to press escape first. So I'm going to go here again, and then I'm going to press this time I. Now I'm in insert, and now I'm pasting. Pasting without the mouse is shift insert. Some computers have shift FN insert, that depends. That's my one secret now. I'm just going to save the secret here. So I have it. Actually, I don't need to save it because it's always going to be saved here. Anyway, I'm going to generate another password, and I'm going to go down, and here it says matrix Synapse macaron secret key. Again, go to there and just paste the key. What confuses me a lot, maybe that's also important to say, is this green thingy. This is, it overwrites sometimes on Windows. When it looks like this, it overwrites usually, but here it's just telling you where you are in an easier way. So if you're on this, you're actually a key before it. That's always to remember. So if I'm on here and I paste, it's going to paste correctly. If I'm here, then it's going to paste after the second quotation mark. Okay, that's it. I added the keys. Now escape again to leave the insert, then double. I don't know what it's called again. Two dots. Anyone know the name? I think double dot. 2 dots anyway, and then you press on X. X is the same as write and then quit. So W is write, Q is quit. If you do W and then Q, it's write, quit. If you do X, it's write and quit together. So we've written and quitten, and then we're carrying on here. And we're going to the next part, which is we don't need this anymore, we don't need this anymore. And here we have to copy the sample inventory hosts file. So we take this. Now remember, I have not left this here. I have not left this directory. I was always in this directory. That's why I can easily put the commands there. If you leave a directory, go back, go forward to check something, make sure that you always go back to the directory when you create these things and create these commands. Otherwise, stuff won't work. I just copied, again, the host files, the example hosts file to the inventory hosts file, and then I'm going to edit the inventory hosts files to my liking. So again, I'm just going to copy. Oh, I'm just going to take this, of course, and pop it into here so you can paste it real quick. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to paste it into here real quick as well. And I'm going to add a V to it because I want to V inside. And then it can go in there. I'm just getting a message from someone that's commenting on what we're doing. VM. Okay. He's just telling me how the clipboard is working in Windows and in here. I mean, these are nice comments. Maybe if he comes live, he can say these comments live as well, but if he doesn't want to, then that's also okay. I think he's listening to the YouTube, which lags a little bit. I'm not sure. Then we V'd into this, so now we're here. And let's see what I have. Let's see what I have here. So then add this probably anywhere in the YAML file because the SSL cannot be generated on localhost. Okay, so this is a note for me. If you're doing it on localhost, you have to add matrix SSL retrieval method manually managed. I'm just going to add this here for anyone who's on localhost. I'm going to add this down here. Add when on local host. But since we're not in local host, you have to add this to the YAML to this host. I'm actually not sure where you need to add this, so maybe you need to add it. You probably need to add it to the vars file, so let's leave that alone for now. If you get stuck with the local host, you can always try both, or probably just check it, look it up. Now we are going to so I have here also instructions how to set your own certificate, blah blah blah, but there's no need for that right now because the playbook actually generates certificates for us with Let's Encrypt. Yeah, we were just going to, oh yeah, it's definitely in the vars file, so sorry if I confused you there. If you want to have when on localhost, then you add this to the vars file. It's all on the vars file, so vars file. Yeah, the vars file is the file inside the directory that we created at the beginning. This directory, which is in the investor, directory, which is in the inventory, host vars, then matrix.your domain. It's the net. So now we're in the hosts, and now we're going to replace the last line. These are all comments. These are all comments, and we're going to replace the last line. Again, don't forget I for insert, then delete, and your domain name here. So we can go to the clipboard on Windows. Now this is a bit tricky, so don't lose me here. I'm on the clipboard on Windows, and I'm just going to take from the Windows clipboard my domain name. Now as you see, it pops up this thing because it has some kind of weird thing when it takes something from the clipboard. I have to press on the backspace twice or something, and then on the backspace, and then it goes, and then I can do shift insert, and now I got the pasted from the clipboard of Windows into the CentOS virtual machine. Now the Ansible host is going to be the host we have, which is our your server's external IP address, like it says there. Make sure I'm on insert, delete that, and again go to the clipboard, go to my IP address, see that it's not there. Isn't that lovely? So, God, where did I put my IP address? Where did I put my IP address? Digitalocean. Maybe I put it here somewhere as well. Did I? Nope, I did not, so I'm going to have to sign in again. God, not again. I mean, if I probably go out and find it here somewhere again, I can find it as well, but I'd rather just go into DigitalOcean so I don't confuse you with where I'm going in the CentOS. Now you know where we are. Just stay there. I'm trying to think how else I could probably, yes, it's the Dns Checker, of course. We can just put the matrix and search for it, and there we have our public IP address. We can just take it from there. No need for DigitalOcean. So just put this somewhere next time instead of just Yeah, I'm just going to put this right here just for me for reference. No, I put it in my notes for reference. That's better. Okay. Now back to here, and then Shift Insert, and then we have here the Ansible SSH user is on root. That's fine. I can stay like that. What else do we have to change? That is it. That is all we have to change. So now, don't forget to escape. I forgot the name of that again. Double dot or whatever it's called, and then X for write, and then exits again. So we're just saving. That's all it does. It saves. Now, remember, we're still in the same directory. Still in the same directory. This is important because now the next command we're gonna use is one which only works in this directory. If it doesn't, then you just have to go to that directory. It's not a big deal. It's going to tell you. It's not going to tell you. It's just going to tell you that it didn't work. And you're going to be like, what? Why? And then go to that directory. So for a basic installation, that's all you need. For a more custom setup, see the other configurations below. When you're done with all the configurations you'd like to do, continue with installing. So the question is, do we want to do some configurations or do we want to install? Are you up for some configurations, guys? Give me a yes, no, maybe. Nothing.
Hello. Hey. Hagi.
Hey.
Hello. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. You can hear me. Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, many of the participants here have an assignment tomorrow to be submitted tomorrow in the morning.
Ah, okay.
So
So
yeah,
let's
I
just
guess.
no configurations, just run it.
Yeah, maybe better.
No problem. Okay, so we're skipping the configurations. The configurations would mean Jitsi and yeah, what else are the configurations?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you again, my man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many have suggested if you like could do a next session like a part 2 something like.
Sure,
Can we
definitely.
like continue from here on another day?
I mean, let's just build because we're done basically. We just
okay, yeah, sure.
We're
Yeah.
done. We just have
Then
to
let's
build now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this command and I'm going to put it here. This is the command that we have to do, and that's it. We're going to set up everything, and we're going to wait for about 2 minutes. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Failed. Ooh. Data could not be sent to remote host. Make sure this host can be reached over SSH. Oops, I completely forgot to ask for the password. So that's why, of course, it didn't work. You have to add to this command this ask pass. So if I go to installation here, because we're skipping the other configurations, you can see on the playbook it says, run this as is to set up a server. See? But if you do use, if you don't use SSH keys for authentication, which we don't, but rather a regular password, you may need to ask pass. So we need to do that. That's why I added this, and that's why it didn't work. So I'm just going to go in and add that, and then I'm going to copy my password again from here and paste it here. And now we should have, in 2 minutes, a configured playbook which is set up. And then the last command that we have to do, which takes 10 seconds to run, is the start command. And this is this command here that I'm copying over. And of course, actually, I don't even know if it has to have an ask pass or not. But we can check it. So as soon as this runs, we should be able to have, we should have a running matrix. That was that. Yep. So as you can see here in the playbook, it says If you do use HSSH keys for authentication and use a non-root, you may need to add K. The above doesn't start anything. That's why we need the start one here. Feel free to rerun this command so we can, after we configure again, and if we have another session, then we can configure again some stuff, add some Jitsi, the video conferencing, add some other stuff, like being able to register, because now I don't think you can register. You have to set that variable to be able to register. And you have to, maybe we can add an email next time with an email provider. And after, this is if you have some stuff from there before, then you can import. And this is the start command that I just copied over to here. Otherwise, we have to configure this. That's the last step we have to do. But we can do this next time. I mean, it basically works now, it's just not federated, so you can't really speak to anyone else. Would you want to do the federation now as well, or would you rather do that in the second part? Anyone there? Hello?
Yeah, we are listening.
Do you want to do the configuration in the second part? The federation, not the configuration, the federation. So now you can't reach the matrix from the outside.
Yeah, I think it's better we can do it in another session, right?
Sure. Okay, so we have another session for this, and let's just wait for it to finish running, and then we can do start, and then you can see that it works.
Okay.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions? We can do the questions now while we're waiting. I think the first time it does it, it has to download some stuff, so maybe it takes a bit longer than 2 minutes. It's already been 2 minutes, so has to create the certificate. Yeah. I'm not doing anything now, it's just running. No one has any questions? Anything you didn't understand well? Okay. So, what else do I have here? The next command. Oh, there you go. Look, it's ready. Now we can just start it. Hopefully it worked without the pass. I'm not sure if it works or not. Let's see. Should take 10 seconds or something just to start it. And it's changing all the Dockers. These are Docker containers or images that are being run and are containers now. Wait a bit so that services can be, see, one thing changed, and now it's running, and now if I go to, what's it called again? Matrix pb dot xyz, it should work. Your connection is not private, which means the certificate is not yet registered. It exists, but it's not a good certificate. So we have to press on advanced and proceed to matrix xyz. And the matrix xyz reroutes us to riot.matrixpb.xyz. And hopefully it will now show the Riot client. Don't know why it's taking so long, but it should show the Riot client now. that's wrong. Let's just try a different browser. It's a Chrome browser problem, so let's go to Microsoft Edge, which is also somehow Chrome, but it's not Chrome, it's only Chromium. XYZ. Advanced, continue to matrix, XYZ. Okay, there seems to be some kind of problem. I don't know what the problem is though. Maybe it just takes it a bit of time. Maybe the power in the droplet.
Hey, I think you can continue.
Yeah, I guess you can continue, like you can press that link, yeah, hyperlink thing.
What? We can what? I didn't hear you. Let me just try riot.matrix. Okay, so it works with the Riot, you see?
Can you use another browser?
Yeah, it works with Riot. You have to do riot.matrixpb.xyz. For some reason, the configurations of the matrix yes, I didn't set. No, of course it didn't work because we didn't set the matrix pb.xyz to go to Riot. So what we need to do is just write riot.matrixpb.xyz, and in the next session I can show you how to configure the variables very easily to just have on your domain name a website that you want, and then you go here to riot.matrixpb.xyz and it just loads this. So right now we don't have registration enabled yet, so if you want to register someone, we would have to run this command. It's very easy to enable registration, but you said that you don't want to do that now, so let's do that another time. But let me just register at least one user. So this is, for example, a user that we can register. We take this command, we set it as an admin or not. See here, you can say yes or no as an admin. And then you can just put a username and a password. So let's just take this username and this password, and then we have the aspask at the end, and then we put in the password for the SSH, and we run this. And after running this should be a second, we should be able to sign in with this user. So if I copy this, this is the password, this is the username, sign in. Come on, you can do it. Sign in with the username and the password. And now we are signed in. So now we have here, if I want to encrypt my messages, I can add another password here. So let's do, I can add, I'm repeating too much, so let's just skip this. Skip. If I want to encrypt my messages, I can add that. I'll do it later. Oh, I just didn't enable notifications, but I can enable them from here. Never mind, so I don't have notifications. This is the matrix, that's it. Now you can add a room here, and you can add a direct message, you can speak to other people. Right now we didn't configure it with a federation, so you can only speak to people. If we register another user and then they log into this matrix.xyz, then they can speak, but otherwise, if I look for other rooms, I think I won't be able to find because it's not configured. See, we cannot speak to the federation yet. We have to add some configurations. Okay, so we carry on in the next session. Yeah, cool. Nice to be with you. Looking forward for the next time. Good luck with your assignment tomorrow. And yeah, thanks.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for presenting this, and let's meet in another session. Yeah.
Yeah, with pleasure. I really enjoyed it. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great session, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, it took a lot of time to do the DNS. I'm sorry about that. So
I think it's normal, right?
yeah, it's normal for beginners with the DNS. It's really difficult. For me, it was also difficult. Yeah, maybe I can make another session, but that I show everything a bit faster. Maybe next time we can start from the really beginning, because I mean this was like maybe 10 minutes. If I do this really fast from the beginning next time, then we can skip the DNS and then we have a nicer video that shows like from the beginning till the end without DNS. When do you want to do the next session?
Guys, what about next week?
Sure, next week sounds great.
Next week,
Yeah.
You let me know whenever you want, and we have the session then.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah.
So for coming, and so guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye
It was
bye.
a great session.
It was great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you all.
Thank you, man. Nice meeting you. You too, man. See you. Yeah. See you soon, man. See you. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Bye
see you
bye.
soon.
Good night, man. Yeah.